I see Hake is live according to Restream, and I see me on Mixer, on Periscope, and DLive and YouTube, and hopefully Twitch. But guys, I'm gonna not jump right into the show yet. Am I on this camera or this camera? This one, right? Okay, so we're just gonna chit chat for a little while because I hate when Trevor's beautiful the Hake Report rendition gets interrupted. Chad H is experiencing buffering. You guys should be hearing me. No echo, right? A minute late, he white. So, thank you. And we will be going. We'll be going. We're just chit-chatting for a little bit until we can for sure be confident that the stream is not going to drop. But this actually is a trunk shirt. Oh, Trump. I misspelled it. But yeah, I'm wearing a Trump International Hotel t-shirt. Appreciate that, Nick. Thank you. Jesse Lee Peterson is hosting my stream on DLive. Cool, huh? But it's also on my channels. On the Hake Report DLive. Brandon M says, fat host again. What's that about, man? Not supposed to tell the truth. But no echoes allowed, according to paramedic. And I have actually a good amount of stuff to get to you guys today. It should be interesting. You should enjoy it. But it's funny though because it's hard to know that this. You get me the thumbs up.
Yeah, it looks good so far.
So far, we're looking good. But the funny thing is, man. Yesterday we had a few minutes into the show, it blinked out and then came back on. So it's hard to really predict. Technical issues? Blame Black Billy. Says Nick Get the Phones. Thank you to Nick Get the Phones. And that's the username, Nick Get the Phones, not the producer. The producer is Gorgonzola on DLive. Nice, huh? So it seems like we're getting ready to go ahead and do this. It is Thursday, April 30th, 2020. Let's have a show, guys. What do you say?
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Wow.
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So disgusting. I have quite a thing. Wow, I like that reverb at the end of. There's a nice echo there. La la la. So far so good, right? No interruption on the song, right? Oh my gosh. I have some disgusting stuff to show you. And hopefully it's not so disgusting that you want to turn off my stream, right? By the way, it's the end of April, last day of April, the 30th. You know what I learned? I don't know if I learned. I think I learned this from one of my dad's. My dad wrote math books. But anyways, I learned this is January. The big knuckle means it's 31 days. February, 28 days or 29 if it's a leap year. March, 31 days. April, 30 days. May, 31. June, 30 days. July, 31 days. If you're listening on podcast and you're not looking at me going over my knuckles, the high part of the knuckle is 31 days. The low part of the knuckle is 30 days. July has 31 and August has 31 days. November low. December high. Cool, huh? You guys probably already knew that stuff. But that's what I learned in my math book. Interesting. Maybe Nick had Saxon math. Hake Saxon. That's the books. But anyways, don't dox my dad. So it's the end of April. April 30th. Probably later in the spring that I want to go to Willow Beach. I used to like to drive out to Vegas and then drive out an hour further to Willow Beach, Arizona. Vegas is in Nevada. Willow Beach is in Arizona. It gets hot over there because it goes down into like this canyon on the Colorado River. And there's fishing there. You can take a boat up the river or down the river, wherever you want to do. Camp. It's fun. Very nice. And it is Mountain Standard Time over there. So although it's 9:06, 9:07 a.m. here, Pacific Daylight Time, it's also after 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time over there. Just interesting. Maybe I was there in the dead of summer a couple of times. I'll show you guys some pictures. They were pretty nice pictures, but it's pretty miserable, hot. It gets like 117, 119 degrees over there sometimes. It's like pretty hot. Maybe I could toughen up. Are those places closed in Arizona because of this COVID thing? I know that I heard Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, wants to close stuff in California. Is Vegas open at all? I heard that the mayor of Vegas, a female Democrat, I think, white woman, wants to open up, thinks it's ridiculous that stuff is all that. I don't know. Oh, before I get started, though, let me explain for the boomers, the benefit of the boomers and everybody else, maybe. I got to explain the treasure chest and DLive. I promised, what's his name? So, guys, I stream on YouTube, DLive.tv/ the Hake Report, Periscope, Mixer, Twitch, Facebook, 6 platforms. And plus on audio feed on TalkStream Live, TalkStreamLive.com. You can download the TalkStream app. It's also on TalkRight, maybe, which is another, offshoot of it. And you can listen there. And you can also listen on jlptalk.com. There's an audio feed going. And Jesse thankfully plays my show live on his audio feed. Isn't that cool? Only during the live show. Then he replays his show the other 20 hours of the day. So, DLive is started by a couple of Chinese people, or a Chinese guy. And they offer these things called lemons, diamonds, ice cream, ninjaginis, ninjets. Those all basically represent money. A lemon translates to 1.2 cents. An ice cream represents 12 cents. A diamond represents $1.20. A ninjagini represents $12. Dang! And a ninjet is $120. At least that's what the exchange was last time I checked, right? And so that's what that is. When we open the treasure chest is an accumulation of lemons. And so a few people get a few lemons. It's basically like redistribution of the wealth. And so that's when we open the treasure chest. The treasure chest builds up on I have a treasure chest that I can open. And by the end of the show, there's an accumulation of lemons in there. And so the most active people get redistribution of lemons. And that's why we call it the Obama chest. It's socialist. Chinese, they can't help but be communist, right? So that's that. Hopefully that explained it to I'm blanking on his name, Greg. He's a smart guy, money guy, smart guy. So, I'm still with Matt Drudge. Well, I don't know if it's Matt Drudge anymore. The Drudge Report, drudgereport.com. Am I still live? Did I blink off at all? Let me know. Hit 2 if I blinked off. Hit 1 if I've been going smooth this whole time. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. And I'll try to look out. But I am still with Drudge. I consider, I just don't really see necessarily what you guys see. Some of you guys are saying, oh, he's turned on Trump. Appreciate the ones, guys. He's turned on, he's a liberal. He's, along with the mainstream media, he is sold out. He has, which I don't know, maybe he has sold his website to somebody else running it. I don't know. And people are more observant than me, I guess, because they've noticed a change, and a lot of people have commented on it. So maybe it's true, but maybe I just started reading the news consistently again too late to notice, or I'm just kind of dumb. Quite possible. Actually, I think that is a fact. But I don't consider him clowning Trump exactly. I think that he's just presenting what is... I don't know for sure, but I think that he's just presenting what he thinks is important, and the mess that the people are talking. He's sharing the mess that people are talking so that we who follow what he's sharing, keep up with what he's sharing, know what the world is saying so that we have an idea of the direction of the world. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making excuses, but I don't really see any issues. So I can't really be making excuses because I don't see anything wrong so far. I'm reading a little bit from Periscope. What's up? Are you getting your haircuts? Where are you getting your haircuts? Says Euphoric Monk. I get my haircuts at the same place that this Chicago mayor is getting her haircuts. I should have grabbed that clip. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll show it to you guys tomorrow. This Chicago mayor is a black lesbian woman, and she's a liberal, of course. Her name is Lori Lightfoot, and I think yesterday it was trending that people were questioning her for having gotten a haircut. She took a photo with maybe her barber or something. She looks like a lesbian too. It is short enough to grab on YouTube. Oh man, I'll show it later because I only have an hour and I have so much other stuff prepped. But she does look. You can't even. Her hair's short enough that you can't even honestly tell that she had a haircut. By the way, her hair is receded like. Anyways. Like a man's. But anyways, like I cut my own hair. I was kidding. I cut my own hair. Joel cuts his own hair, and he has like black person hair, and so I hear that that's harder. He has a nice fade. He gives himself a nice fade. Looks in the mirrors very carefully. I cut my own hair. Anyways, I appreciate that. So, but listen to this. So, Drudge hasn't really covered this story. And, like Dan Bongino. I'm not going to follow Dan Bongino over Drudge. But anyways, Dan Bongino has the Bongino Report. And he said, Drudge is not going to cover this. But I've heard, from President Trump and Mike Cernovich, whom I follow on Twitter as a news source. He's a decent guy, I think. I heard Michael Flynn, General Michael Flynn, the original National Security Advisor. Wouldn't that be nice? Who was the National Security Advisor after him? I don't know, but I know that didn't John Bolton run National Security Advisor for a while? Man, not wise, Trump. Man, such a boomer. But anyways, he got rid of him. That's good. But I heard that Michael Flynn, General Michael Flynn, he served something like 15 days. He was with Trump. He was like a MAGA guy, right? Nationalist, I think. 3-star general, whatever that means. But respectable man, and he has a son who's cool too, I think, based on like his Twitter feed. So I don't know much about him. But he got railroaded, right? Early on during this phony Russia investigation. Supposedly he lied to the FBI and he pleaded guilty. He shouldn't have pleaded guilty, but he did. I mean, from what people say, he shouldn't have pleaded guilty, right? By the corrupt Obama FBI, honestly. Because this was early in Trump's presidency / even before his presidency. It's really the corrupt FBI, honestly. It's not even just the Obama FBI. It's been a long time coming. A lot of you guys agree with that, I'm sure. That the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, has been bad since before Obama. Trump is tweeting about it. Hashtag Flynn exonerated was trending on Twitter, and James Comey was too, who was head of the FBI at the time. All kinds of mess going on. Let me see if I can read you a couple of Trump's tweets about it. He's saying, dirty cop James Comey got caught. I like how Trump is fighting for himself. And he said, what happened to General Michael Flynn? This is just 4 hours ago, guys. 4 or 5 hours. What happened to General Michael Flynn, a war hero, should never be allowed to happen to a citizen of the United States again, Trump said. And, you know, Cernovich is a guy that I generally respect, right? Some of you don't. But Cernovich stopped being a MAGA guy because of what happened with Flynn. Michael Flynn supposedly lied to the vice president, but did he really? And so he got fired. Trump fired him. But Flynn, to my knowledge, has not held a grudge against Trump. He's not turned on Trump. Isn't that nice? And the FBI, I think they kind of threatened his family, meaning like they were going to go after his son or something like that with so-called investigations and stuff, intimidation. I mean, this is stuff that I'm hearing. I can't confirm. I don't really know what went on. And Trump is also defending Roger Stone, too. Trump tweeted, does anybody really believe that Roger Stone, a man whose house was raided early in the morning by 29 gun-toting FBI agents with fake news CNN closely in tow, was treated fairly? How about the jury forewoman, female foreman, with her unannounced hatred and bias against Trump and Stone? Same scammers as General Flynn, is what Trump said. So, just some interesting things going on. There's stuff coming out about the FBI. Who knows what's going to happen? For the most part, the government gets away with their corruption, right? So don't be having high hopes, but just pay attention to what's going on, I guess. But hopefully, you know, justice prevails in this Flynn situation. I like how Trump is at least tweeting moral support, right, for these guys. Even if he doesn't pardon them or whatever. And I will be getting to your calls. I will be getting to them. I appreciate them. 888-775-3773. I see you guys hanging on already. I learned a little bit about this woman. I have pictures for this one, Joelle, who's pushing this globalist socialism, which is a buzzword I got from Lockwood, Bill Lockwood. And she's pushing it on Reuters, on a Reuters article. I was telling you in Hake News of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, the end of the second hour today, about their polls show, right, that 82% of respondents want the billionaires to pay up, cough up money, whether through philanthropy or a wealth tax, to help end poverty and inequality, wealth inequality. These are fake concerns, by the way. And especially with this COVID thing, it's coming out all the more. So this woman, her name is Ellen Wulfhorst. This is the Reuters female. And I just wanted to look up her Twitter feed just to see what kind of person she is, right? And what did I come across? Well, first of all, she's a boomer. She doesn't know what she's doing on there. And she hasn't really tweeted since last year. But she retweeted this disgusting radical homosexual outlet called Openly that says 13 same-sex couples are going to court in Japan on Valentine's Day calling for the right to marry. #LGBT. And she's going, American Indians see the border wall as a threat to their ancient culture. And then it's Thompson or whatever it is, Reuters Foundation. She wrote an article, so-called land rights. So she's against Trump's wall. Does not approve of Trump's wall. So she's writing propaganda pieces in favor of the Indians, American Indians. At least she calls them American Indians. You can tell that she's a boomer. I appreciate that about her. Because now they call them Native Americans and stuff. We're born here. We're Native Americans. She retweeted this disgusting #MeToo woman, Rose McGowan. The only Western country on this list, Rose McGowan tweets, America. Once again, you excel at tragedy. And so that's Rose McGowan saying that. And it says, parents, teach your sons not to rape. #MeToo. Disgusting, huh? And she's retweeting this woman. And Rose McGowan, go back to that one more time. Rose McGowan was quote tweeting a Reuters article that says U.S. named the only Western nation in the top 10 most dangerous countries for women following hashtag #MeToo in a Reuters poll. And so it says, it's ridiculous. So it's attacking America, the Me Too thing. Here's another one from Ellen Wulfhorst. This is a Reuters so-called reporter, right? What countries do you think experts in women's issues named as the worst for putting women at risk of trafficking and slavery? And so that may have been the same India, Libya, Myanmar. Anyways, it's women's stuff. This is a feminist with female mindset. So that's her. Another one from the radical homosexual organization called Openly. What is this Ellen woman? Is she a lesbian or something? About some podcast pushing LGBTQ issues and HIV mess in UK. Just a mess. So that's a disgusting woman. And show the Reuters crap thing. Reuters is an activist organization. It is not about spreading the truth. They're trying to influence the world for the worse, in my opinion. And they say, here's what they say about our economy's coverage. We report on how, and I told you guys this in the Hake News, we report on how to ensure people globally have economic security and a decent standard of living. So they're trying to report on instructions for the people to be commies, basically. They are activists. They're not, and most reporters are activists. And maybe they should be, but these people are evil activists. They're activists for evil. So just wanted to share that with you. That's Ellen Wulfhorst. And Reuters is a huge, so-called respected journalistic organization. They have photographers. If you put up their photographs on your website, then they make you cough up money to pay them. All that stuff. They are a huge outlet with huge resources. And they're evil. And same thing with AP. And I pick on them as far left extremists because they're considered like factual, middle of the road, so-called, and stuff like that. But they're not. They refuse to use the term illegal alien, which is an accurate term. They refuse to call transgenders by their actual gender. They call them she when it's a male pretending to be a she. They're gross. And they are pushing women's mess, meaning abortion and attacking men, accusing men, the Me Too movement, all that mess. So, gross. By the way, this leads me to my point, and then I will get to your calls. Appreciate it. We weren't all united in 9/11, and some of you guys are pretty young when 9/11 happened. You may not remember, but there was this dumb, I guess you call it a narrative, that America was united around after 9/11 happened. And 9/11 is September 11th, 2001, when those planes flew into that building, those two buildings, and they came down. That's what 9/11 was. And they flew into the Pentagon too, and like 3,000 Americans died, right? Something like that. And I remember when it happened, and then I remember the aftermath, and people have such low standards nowadays that the mainstream so-called conservatives were thinking, oh, this is a win for society because the media didn't attack George W. Bush for calling it evil, what happened, because he used the word evil. So now we can all agree that evil exists. Dumb. Such low standards, right? Well, the reason that I don't want to unite around 9/11 or COVID-19 or any of this stuff is because you don't want to unite with evil. These people are evil people trying to fight an evil disease, right? So they pretend that us versus them is a bad thing. But that's not the real description of what's going on. It's good versus evil. They are all evil, and then most of us are evil too. And then we're trying to be on the side of what's good. So we have to overcome the evil in ourselves, as the Bible says, which makes it a fact. Overcome evil with good, right? The evil is in them, and then there's evil in us. That's why I that's why I was criticizing the Jew critics the other day. That watch yourselves too. Don't just watch the Jews, because the Jews are evil. We know that, most of them. But watch yourselves too, because you're evil too, and you have to overcome that. Otherwise, you're just playing into evil's hands. Isn't that right? And I noticed that there's a lot of evil versus evil in the world. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've been going for a while, and I need to get to some calls, but I am going to get to these scummy, commie, union strike people versus disgusting other evil big businesses, right? Amazon, which is a disgusting organization. Well, yeah, they are. They got rid of the Confederate battle flag. I've been harping on them for days and months and years. Target, which we all know is, these people reminded me, is pro LGBTQIA stuff. They let transgenders go into the wrong bathroom. These are some pictures from the. So tomorrow is May Day, right? Tomorrow is that communist holiday called May Day. They also call it, I think it's called International Workers' Day. And because the mainstream media are a bunch of communist sympathizers, they sympathize with Antifa, disgusting anti-American organization, anti-white, even though they are white, many of them. They're going to do a strike. A bunch of workers are going to walk out of Whole Foods, Target, Shipped, Instacart, and Amazon and all that stuff. So-called unethical labor practices and unfair pay on International Workers' Day. So I'm going to cover that. Dumb. But anyways, first, let me get to KT out of Washington, D.C. KT, it's good to hear from you.
Hey, what's going on, James? Good to hear from you, too.
Everything's going fine. What's up?
Good. Just to add on to your point about 9/11 and people uniting.
Yeah.
There actually, before 9/11 happened, they were in the process of trying to impeach George W. Bush.
Oh, really?
And yeah, they were calling his election illegitimate. This kind of like the same thing they did with Trump.
Right.
You know,
it was very contested.
They had actors. I'm sorry.
It was a very contested election. I remember. At least the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2000. Yeah, I remember that.
They were ready to impeach him. I mean, Sean Penn had this huge article in the Times about
the actor.
Why we should. Yeah, the actor Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Why we should mobilize and take down George W. Bush and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
So
I liked how you pronounced that, by the way. Mobilize. That's a better word for it, because they're being a mob. Yeah. Anyways.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. 9/11. If 9/11 didn't happen, Bush would have gone through the same thing Trump went through.
Interesting. Well.
Yeah, but.
Yeah. True. That's true.
That's not the.
We've been divided for decades.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said we've been divided for decades.
Oh yeah, more than decades.
Yep. True.
Yeah. So, Brian, I just want to get your opinion and your take on this, right?
Yeah.
So I was listening to Brandon Tatum yesterday. I think you know him. You guys have had him on the show before.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he blames Trump for this whole coronavirus thing. And I agree with him. I blame Trump 100% too. I mean, the idea of allowing this whole crash of the economy to happen just because of a virus, you know. We didn't even America didn't even shut down for more than 2 weeks after 9/11. You know?
Right. Yeah.
The whole, I mean, they shut down airports for a couple of days, and and that was it.
Right.
But we're shutting down the whole economy just because of something that has similar death rates to the flu, and it has a high recovery rate. And so I kind of blame Trump for falling for just falling for that, and also allowing people like Fauci and Dr. Birx and all of them. And Brandon Tatum made a good point about how they all come to the press conference and they all have a different point of view. They all have a different opinion. They're not on the same page as Trump.
Yeah.
Which doesn't paint a good picture for Trump. So I 100% agree with Brandon Tatum, and I 100% agree that Trump is to blame for this whole thing. And Trump, I don't know, Trump. This is the second time he has got on my bad list. This is the second strike for him. The first strike was the red flag laws that he signed off on. That was the first strike for me, and to me, this is the second strike for him. I'm just going to wait, see. I'm going to sit down and wait and see what he does, until this whole thing rides out. But, I just got to say, he's definitely 100% to blame for this whole thing. And I just wanted to get your point of view on that.
All right, interesting. When you say second strike, how many strikes are you going to give him before what happens? So 2 questions.
I mean, I'm still going to vote for Trump. I'm a 100% Trump supporter. I'm still going to vote for him.
Yeah.
But he's not been on my good. I mean, he has one more strike, and I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll still vote for him. I'll still vote for him.
Yeah. You'll still vote for him even if he got 3 strikes, God forbid, right?
Yeah, God forbid.
All right.
God forbid.
So, and Brandon Tatum, for those who don't know, he is a black, kind of young guy, maybe my age, former cop, and he used to be liberal. Now he's conservative, or fairly conservative, right? Not totally, but pretty decent guy, pretty reasonable guy, tries to be anyways. And I don't know, the world and the country and the government are filled with evil people. And the expert field, the sciences are filled with evil people. Female-minded, soft, overprotective, and that's what we're witnessing in the country. And Trump is pretty hands-off regarding letting these governors and mayors and local officials do what they want. And they are the ones shutting things down. It's not Trump, nor is it even like the CDC. Like there was this big outcry over Pence not wearing his mask at this place that requires masks, Mayo Clinic or something like that. But the CDC says you don't have to wear a mask unless you have the disease. Then you protect other people from yourself. But anyways, and Pence is always being tested, so he knows that he doesn't have it. So he doesn't have to wear it. So I don't really, you can blame Trump for allowing these people to shut things down, but I don't know what I would expect, or you guys would expect him to do differently, like to put a heavy hand on the states to not close things down. I'm not really sure. And yeah, there's been like a little bit of redistribution of wealth stuff seemingly going on, bailing out different companies and things like that maybe I don't agree with. And so my position is I'm leaving it as I don't know. I don't know if Trump is handling this right or not. But I do like how he handles it. I do like his fight against the media. That is a good thing. But I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, I agree with you. Yes. I mean, he's doing certain things, but, so.
You hold him responsible for not stopping the people, the locals, from shutting things down?
Well, yes and no. Yes, and I mean he has the federal power to end all that, And
does he though?
Actually, I do. I'm sorry.
Does he though? Strictly speaking,
he should. I mean, and one thing I like that he's doing is I like the fact that he is he's going to hold states. He's not just going to give states money or bailout money.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna have some contingencies with that money. So I like that part.
Yeah. KT,
So-
hang on the line. I'm going to bring a couple people want to respond to you, and they may be like
Okay.
a little over dismissive. Who knows? So out of respect to
Okay.
you, I'll have you both on. But listen to what Bible Go-To guy out of Los Angeles has to say, KT. Hang on, KT.
Sure.
Bible Go-To guy, you're on the air with KT, by the way. But what do you say?
You know, I used to agree with KT's assessment of Trump shutting down the economy and he overreacted and all that stuff. But then I reconsidered and I said, you know what? What if this thing would have been as bad as – because we didn't have any reliable data out of China. So we didn't know
Right.
how infectious it was going to be. We didn't know how deadly it was going to be. And when you have that kind of situation, you shut everything down until you find out. The problem is they've been too slow in reopening once they did find out. But initially, you got to shut everything down. It's just like if you got a neighbor coming over to visit you, you don't know nothing about him. You don't turn your back on him and let him in the house and let him go out with your kids and all that.
Yeah.
You treat him as if he is a deadly enemy until you know different. And so this armchair quarterbacking is it's all right, but you got to reconsider your own. You know, we all got 20/20 hindsight now. You know, it is not as deadly, so they should be opening it quicker. But that's the only complaint I had is they need to be
But
opening
here's
things
the
quicker
thing,
now.
Bible Go-To guy. Here's the thing. They're going to blame if Trump did not close the economy and he said, okay, we're going to keep the economy shut. We're going to keep the economy open, but we're going to set some, some guidelines, wear a face mask, wear gloves, do this, social distance, but we're not going to close the economy. They would still have blamed him. They would still have blamed him for every death. And
Yeah.
And I mean, you're looking at it now. He's done
Still getting
everything he
blamed.
was supposed to,
Yeah.
and they're still blaming him. They're still either way, whether he does it
But
or
as
whether
you
he
are,
doesn't do it.
as you
they're
are
going
though,
to blame
but
him.
as you are though, you're still blaming.
But my
him for
thing
shutting
is,
it down.
yes, I'm blaming him for the
Tremendous.
economy part. You know, he should just let the economy open and set certain guidelines like wearing masks,
But if
wearing gloves,
it
do
would have
whatever,
been
wash your
extremely
hands.
deadly, no. If it had been extremely deadly, you'd be on the other side saying you should have shut it all down.
I don't know.
See, you didn't know. We didn't
No,
know. Nobody really knew.
But my point is they're going to blame Trump either way. So why not do the right thing by keeping the economy open?
Thank you, Bible Go-To guy.
But my point is, it was a matter of safety. Nobody knew how unsafe this thing was, and so he did have to shut it down until they found out. Once they found out it wasn't as deadly, and it was only a certain group of people who were catching it and all that stuff, then they should have quickly reopened it. But initially, you have to shut it down. You have to stop airlines and everything.
All right, Bible Go-To guy, I appreciate that, man.
All right, thank you.
KT, hang tight because I have Lucas who wants to get on with you. But my thing is still, the federal government doesn't have total authority over the states. The 10th Amendment says that anything that's not listed in the Constitution, the states have the right to make the decision. And this whole public health policy, I don't know, it's a sketchy thing to say that Trump could meddle in all the localities and tell them how to run their stuff. So that's my thing about this economy thing, at least in terms of businesses being forced to close down locally. That's my position. But hang on, because I have Lucas on the line from Alhambra, California, on with KT. Lucas, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Hake, and what's up, KT? I'm not really trying to go at KT. I just wanted to say something generally that, it already says, I thought Bob Go-To guy would say, it says, trust no man, and also we have to have some common sense. The problem isn't Donald Trump. The problem isn't China. The problem isn't the Democrats or Republicans or whatever Dr. Fauci says or anyone says. The problem is we just have to have some common sense through this whole thing, and stop blaming people, maybe just have some common sense. You know, I still work. And if I didn't have a job, if I got fired, I would find another job.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be blaming Donald Trump. I wouldn't be waiting for my stimulus check or unemployment. No, I would just find another way. We have to have common sense and just go through the battle. It's a spiritual battle.
I don't think that KT is personally suffering. KT would, but I think he's just concerned about the country being destroyed because of the messed up economy.
I'm concerned about the economy. That's my concern.
Yeah, but that's why we can't blame people and we can't start attacking people. We the people have to make the economy better and use some common sense. I think these protests that are happening is the right one way. Probably not the best way, but one way.
You're talking about the protest, the anti-lockdown protests.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the May Day one that's going to happen tomorrow. Anyways.
Oh yeah. No, not that one.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know about that one. But no, definitely we have to and maybe those protesters should actually maybe try to get a job, or make a job, do something, but because that'll help the economy, like you were talking about. But
how are they going to get jobs? How are they going to get jobs when they're getting arrested for opening up their businesses? Police is arresting people for opening up businesses. Just in the county I live in this small county I live in, 280
I don't know
calls
what state you live in. What state?
He's in the D.C. area, which is
I'm in the D.C. area.
Really liberal.
Oh, okay.
Really
very liberal. 280 calls have been in 1 week. 280 calls have been made to the police.
They hate freedom
because people are not social distancing, or some business is not, doesn't have a sign, or some business lets somebody in with a mask on. Just little dumb things like that. You know?
Yeah. It's true, man. Well, I think that we need the local people to take control again, to become men again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. I really don't know if you can. Maybe you can put a little blame on Trump, but I just don't know. But for sure, like we, the people, have to get these people out of power.
Yeah, we have to do something. Honestly, like that's what I'm saying. Like with blaming Trump, it's not going to do you any good. We have to do something, and I can't really speak for where you live. I never lived there. Yeah. I don't really know what's going on there, but I just think we have to do something. But
how is Alhambra doing, Lucas?
Alhambra's doing pretty well.
That's a very Asian area.
Yeah. But they're not out as much. But it's doing pretty well. The stores are open. Pasadena is starting to open up more. I'm a cook. I work at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And so the restaurants are opening up slowly. The markets are still open. Yeah. You have to wear a mask to go in the market still, and like most stores.
But that's normal for the Asians.
and when I have to wear a mask to go to work.
Yeah.
Well. So it's a little degrading for me, but
I know.
You just have to. My dad told me we just have to go through this because this is not the battle to fight yet. There's a bigger battle.
You do want to pick your battles. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Lucas, thanks, man. Take care.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Hake. You have a good one.
All right. What do you think, KT, about my thing about the states' rights, even though the states have the right to destroy themselves and the people they're in?
Well, that's true. I mean, I agree. The states have that, that separation with the federal government. Yeah, I agree with you on that part. But, I mean, Trump is the one that, listened to all these experts in the beginning and, instituted all these directives and guidelines for social distancing, and that the states and the local governments followed. So he set the precedence, and they followed on.
They went further than him, though. A lot of people were pushing masks before him. And his were guidelines. They weren't saying, "Oh, you have to do this." He wasn't saying was he recommending businesses shut down?
Yeah, businesses to close.
He said that?
Only non-essential businesses open.
I hate that term. That's an evil term.
You can correct me on that.
Yeah, if he said that, he was misled. He was misguided to say essential businesses, because that's a dumb buzzword. Yeah, if he did that, then I would agree with you on that part. But for weeks, he's been calling for people to open back up, So, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I do agree. And I also like the fact that he's allowing his what's his name, General Barr. What's his
Attorney
name?
General
His first
William
name?
Barr. Yeah, of the
Yeah,
DOJ.
Attorney General William Barr. I like the fact that he's allowing him to go ahead and see what the states are doing. I like that part. But the only thing I'm blaming Trump for, and here's the thing people need to understand: I'm not attacking Trump. I'm not attacking him one bit. I'm going to vote for him in November.
Good.
But all I'm doing is I'm just calling him out for that mistake he made in the beginning. That's all.
All right. Appreciate that, KT. Thanks, man. It's nice talking with you.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Take care. I got a bunch of diamonds and super chats and all that stuff. Hot Computer Smell gave a diamond, says, let's get our Hake on, and then strong arm thing. Nick, get the phones. It says, oh, yeah, we already said that one about blame Black Billy. Polly gave a diamond. Thank you. Marie May Begalot gave a diamond. Thank you. Marcus V says, Obama chest funds. Thank you for contributing to the Obama chest funds. Redistribution of lemons. Gorgonzola says, a glaring symptom of men, their women save others. Save others. Yep. That's racist. Gave a diamond, said, Ratem. Ratm. R-A-T-M. Not sure who that is. Said George W. should be shot at Coachella 07. R-A-T-M. Why was that? Rage Against the Machine. Ah. See, I'm a 90s kid. I know what I'm talking about a little bit. Yeah. Evil people. KT and the Bible go-to guy, amazing, says that's racist. And Danny claims that doctors are paid to lie about COVID-19. He says, wake up, people. Is that true? Look into it for me, somebody. Jib Jab with the red thumbs up. A. Owen says, hey, how long you known Jesse? What's the backstory? I first learned about Jesse in February 2007. I was up north, and I learned about him through word of mouth. And he said, oh, you're from Los Angeles. You should check out his church. So I started going to his church services. Actually, the first time I came to it, it was somebody else giving a guest talk, kind of like how Francisco, longtime Bond guy, gave a little talk. Well, Jesse was out of town. He was doing the Stop Obama's Socialist Change speaking tour, 07, 08. And so a lot of times the church service was happening, but it was a guest person speaking, somebody else from Bond. And I liked how it was run by men. Men were calling each other out, and it was cool. So I appreciated that about Bond, and Jesse was right on. At that time, Joel was a sophomore in high school, and I was 25 and almost a half. Yeah, Joel was 15. So yeah, first time that he came back the next week, he offered me a job, and I thought about it, didn't take it, but I got counseling with my parents and me and him and Jesse. I thought about moving out here, but didn't do it. Ended up working a small business over in Covina for 7 years. And then, I was ready to quit, and I became producer for Jesse's show. Nice, huh? And that was in 2013, late 2013. 510, Ralph Wiggum says, love you, Hake. Keep up the good work. Joel and Nick, too. Yeah, they're all right, huh? Jib Jab says, thanks for the explanation of DLive. Never knew that, but always wondered what all those lemons and diamonds were worth. He millennial. That's funny. Alex Calloway says, Hake, the Constitution only applies to the federal government. When the First Amendment was passed, states had state churches. Wow, that's awesome. Alex Calloway, 13 colonies came first. Nice. So this whole separation of church and states mess, which isn't even in the Constitution, by the way. And the way that there's Freedom from Religion Foundation people, like this guy that came on the show the other day, last week, Andrew Seidel, whatever his name is, totally misinterpreting. It says Congress shall make no law respecting the institution of a religion, right? And he takes that to mean that this man who's a sheriff or a police chief can't preach at a church and say, I wish everybody would be Christian, life, the world would be a better place, even though it's true. Yes, he can. That's not a law. He's not making a law. Dumb. Anyways, Danny said, when America is on her knees, will people wake up? I doubt it, man. Some people will, but for the most part, people won't. Are you awake, though? Know yourself. Don't be too quick to scrutinize everybody else. Jib Jab says, I say the people and businesses that voted for these idiotic governors are getting what they deserve. I appreciate the slang speak, Jib Jab. Shorty Shrew says, Trump never said close non-essential businesses. Okay, that's what Shorty Shrew claims. Nice name. And Blazing Hogs with the another super chat says, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. He says, died in a car wreck? Yup, it's a COVID death. Yeah, and he's making fun of how they're they're blaming all these deaths on COVID-19. Meanwhile, the liberal media, or, you know, some of the mainstream media, maybe even Drudge, I don't know, claims that COVID deaths are underreported. Or maybe they're not saying COVID deaths are underreported, but COVID cases are underreported because of lack of testing, right? But wouldn't that be kind of a good thing? Because that means that for the most part, people are getting over it. So the death rate is not 3%, or maybe not even 1%. I don't know. But it is a pretty crazy disease. I was reading about this 26-year-old woman who got really sick, and then she lost her cousin. Show that picture. Let's see. I don't know if you can tell. It's called Blue 11. There was this picture from, you know, local news of a woman. This woman on the left. The person in the middle is not a woman. I thought it might be the woman that they were talking about, but no, that person in the middle is a man, a male, adult male. Looks almost like it could be a trans, but it's not. It's a male. And so that male who's in the middle in this picture, I'm showing you a picture of 3 nice-looking black people, but they're a little overweight. But the 2 on the right, the males, they died. And the female lived, but she got quite sick herself. Had to be in the emergency room for days. Days and days. So it's a pretty serious thing, man. Oh, while I'm here, Joel, let me show you guys this. And I was reacting to this. And I am going to open the treasure chest, Obama chest on DLive. But let me show you these pictures, ridiculous pictures from the Eminem one. This is the photo, April 29th. So I came across this video that has 44 million views. It's a music video. And this is actually fitting. I'm showing you, Joel is showing you guys, a graphic of a whole bunch of TV looking things with the American flag. Interestingly enough, I caught it at this point. This is a screenshot that I took of this YouTube video. It's a music video from Eminem, disgusting guy. And he's worse than he ever has been, honestly. Because he's gone mainstream. And I'll explain later. But it says, when will this end? In words, it says, when will this end? And it looks like it's asking when America will end. And then it says, when enough people care. When will this end? When enough people care. And that's so silly. That's so dumb. And that's so not Eminem. Am I right? I got to show you this video, Joel. I think that you would be... Anyways, and then it says, register to vote at vote.gov. Make your voice heard and help change gun laws in America. And so this is basically this huge propaganda video. You can zoom in on that part. I shared it on my channel on YouTube. It said, hit a dislike, fam. And then Gordon said, okay, I disliked your post. But this is... The video, scroll down a little bit on it so that you can see the title of the video. you see Eminem like sitting in the middle of like a dark room looking thing, and it says Eminem, darkness, and there's the video, right? The music, the song, the rap song, and it's his typical dumb, tiresome, tortured, I'm upset type of Eminem video that you've gotten so sick of, right? Have you gotten sick of it? I have gotten sick of it. You can chime in if you want, Joel. But I liked his stuff early on when it was funny, and well, I mean, some of it was a little gross or graphic or whatever, but it was funny, it was catchy, and he was young, so it was kind of fitting. But now he's just this so-called tortured soul, and he's like hating, he did that video hating Trump. And he's just fallen into, and this video is so empty, but people are calling it deep. And so basically he's casting in the video, he casts himself as this guy who's on drugs, taking Valium or something like that, which is drugs, and alcohol, drinking a bunch of alcohol. And then he has these guns, and then it switches to become the Las Vegas shooter. Suddenly it's no longer Eminem, but it's the Las Vegas shooter, the one that was in the hotel room, and he shot up that country music festival and killed a bunch of people. And then it goes through all these dumb mass shootings, right? So-called mass shootings that killed a bunch of people. And they don't want to blame the emptiness and vapidness of the culture. And the destruction of the family and the destruction of morality and all that stuff. No, they want to blame the guns. We need to vote when enough people care. Female, he's turned into a mainstream cuck for mainstream culture. And a cuck means somebody who surrenders himself to other interests, not his own. And that's what he did. Am I right? Gross. And he's been kind of, he needs to forgive his mother. I know a guy who knows a guy who used to date his sister, interestingly enough. Yeah, what a mess. Will he ever wake up? I have a friend who thinks that he's the best rapper, but he doesn't like him anymore because he hates Trump. But he thinks he's the best rapper. And this guy is Hispanic. It's Esteban. Do you agree with him that he's the best rapper? I gotta get Joel in on just a little bit.
I mean, I know that he's like crazy unique at what he does and stuff like that. But I was never like really too into his stuff. I thought he was good and stuff, and I had a lot of songs that I really liked. That I every once in a while I'll still listen to. But I just wasn't a huge, fan like that.
Right. Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I agree that it was all fun and stuff then, and it was cool because it was edgy and different about how he went about what he talked about and stuff, and it was funny, jokey. Now it's all serious and bitter, and now it translated to his life. It's like, all right, man, it was a joke.
And he was like antagonistic to the media, at least in his persona, right? What he presented was at least pretending to be antagonistic to the media. Now he's falling right in line with them.
Right.
Pathetic.
What a mess.
Appreciate that, Joel.
Yeah.
Let me get to Erik out of Los Angeles, California, before we wrap up. Yes, I am still going only 2 hours, but we're working. Only 1 hour, I mean. That was a slip. I'm only going 1 hour, guys. But Erik, out of Los Angeles. What's up?
James, how's it going?
Going well. Nice to hear from you.
Likewise. Enjoying the show.
Appreciate it.
I heard you asked this question about whether it's true about the COVID-19 deaths being, or deaths from other causes being recorded as COVID-19.
Yeah.
There are definitely reports of that from all over the world.
And doctors, are doctors being told to lie?
I haven't personally seen it, but when you hear this story coming out of different countries at the same time, and one thing is people being, they died in a car crash or what have you, and they'll just put it down as COVID-19. In some cases, the doctors are being paid more in the U.S. That video you had.
Do you
on
have a
Jesse's
source?
show with
Do you have not to be annoying, right? But send us if you come across that, or any of you guys come across that, send us a source so we can confirm.
But James, you had a video on JLP show, I think the day before yesterday.
Uh-huh.
The one that was the California doctors that was taken off YouTube.
Oh yeah.
After getting 9 million views, he comments it.
Oh
he
okay.
Says it.
All right.
But there
I'll
are
have to
other
look more
people
closely at that.
saying the same thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they
and-
are dishonest people, so you just expect them to lie one way or another.
Right. But
Yeah.
the thing is that, we got to be clear here. There is tremendous manipulation going on, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's worth being aware for everyone. If you're hearing figures, and especially if, like you do with your job, you're actually speaking figures, report the figures, but don't report them as fact.
Right.
You see
Yeah.
what I mean? Almost in every time you hear figures reported, the person, whoever it is speaking, will say, the numbers are blah, blah, blah.
So they
don't
claim,
say,
right?
the Chinese government is claiming that the numbers are blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
They're saying, the numbers from China are blah, 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 and therefore we get this ridiculous headline that was reported all over the world, U.S. passes China in number of deaths. What
Right.
an absolute lie. Who's going to believe that?
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't know that China is telling the truth, much less, well, we don't know that America's telling the truth, and we can be pretty sure that China's not. Yeah.
It's an honor to be able to call your show up and have a rant. The other day I mentioned this thing with Bill Gates, right?
Yeah.
The son of Satan.
Right.
But, since then, I've been learning more about Fauci.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, Fauci is a son of Satan. He's brother in arms with Bill Gates. Satan is their daddy.
Yeah.
This guy has an amazing history.
He loves Clinton.
He was involved with AIDS when AIDS came out. He called it the gay disease 3 years before AIDS was actually identified.
Wow.
And he was involved in the
So he was
subversion
telling
and
the truth back
stealing
then.
of research from the people who actually discovered the virus.
Yeah, the AIDS virus? HIV thing?
Yeah, HIV is another
Supposedly.
huge. It's like the coronavirus. There is a virus. It's called HIV. Everything else that we've been told is lies by the mainstream media about HIV.
There was a lot
about
of hype.
what it is, how it happens. It's a lifestyle disease.
Interesting.
That's why it was really the gay disease, prostitutes, and intravenous drug users. And then once it got into the blood supply, that's when normal people like Magic Johnson got it. And the reason why Magic Johnson is still alive today, whereas everyone else who was diagnosed in his day died, is because he didn't take the drugs that were being pushed by Fauci.
Wow.
AZT, old decommissioned chemotherapy drugs that work by blocking cell division. And not only did he give it he was giving it as a prophylactic. He was saying to all the gays, take this drug, it'll stop you from getting AIDS, and it was killing them.
Wow.
But these guys have blood on their hands like you couldn't believe. And the thing is, you look at him, and he just looks like this. He looks like Bill Gates. He looks like one of those people who have that disease where they age prematurely. So they're 12 years old, but they look like 80. You know?
Right.
He's got that kind of wizened, boyish look. It's the mundanity of evil. These people are just completely vacuous. They just have a head full of mama and immense power. They're Satan's special chosen playthings. And, I don't hate them, but... and of course, I don't, maybe I've been deceived and all of this about Bill Gates and Fauci is lies, lies, lies. But as with the thing about the fake reporting, when you start hearing it from all these different sides, right?
Yeah.
I'm not working at the moment. I'm watching a lot of YouTube, right? And I'm listening to reporters from the UK, from the US, from elsewhere, and speaking with my friends in Spain. This it's pretty epic what's going on.
It's crazy.
Someone told
Erik,
me the other day, we're in World War III right now, aren't we?
We're overtime.
Oh, well, thanks, James.
I
I'll speak to you
appreciate it,
again
Erik.
soon.
Good to hear from you, man.
All the best. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Real quick, paramedic, I'll give you 30 seconds. Go from Florida.
I only need 5. In regards to Eminem, he complained a whole bunch about his mama, too.
Yeah.
Old songs. You remember that? I just thought it was funny. So
True.
He's sort of right. Maybe Jesse can save him one day.
Yep.
But
appreciate it.
Have a good day, man.
Thank you, man. You too. Take care. Yeah, he was full of anger, and now he's an overgrown cuck. What a shame, man. What a shame. Brandon M says, something is already in. Just go with it. Preach, brother, from across the pond says, Fall. Thank you. And TNT88, thank you for the diamonds. Appreciate that. And let me just double check. Appreciate you guys on the YouTube and everybody joining in from, let's see, mixer.com / the Hake Report and Twitch. Appreciate you guys joining. That's cool. Facebook. So we will see you. Hope you got a chance to catch the Bond Rebuilding the Man 2009 Sunday service yesterday. It was excellent. And we are going to be putting out those on podcast as well, so you can listen to them on podcast platforms through the Church with Jesse Lee Peterson podcast. All right, guys, thehakereport.com for my stuff, jlptalk.com or jesseleepeterson.com /show for Jesse's stuff. Thanks, guys. Take care.